For a series that feels so natural and grounded, Heartland has plenty of behind-the-scenes details that even longtime fans may not know. After nearly 2 decades on air, the show has built a world that feels completely real, but the production story behind it is just as interesting. Here are some of the most surprising facts. 1. The real Heartland Ranch is private property. The iconic barn and ranch house seen on screen are filmed on a real working ranch near Millerville, Alberta. The property has been operating since 1928 and is privately owned. Despite how recognizable it is, the ranch is not a public attraction. Fans cannot tour the barn or walk the property. Access is limited strictly to cast, crew, and production staff. That exclusivity helps preserve the authenticity of the location and keeps the working ranch functioning normally outside of filming. 2. Amber Marshall is a real-life rancher. Amber Marshall does not just play a horse whisperer on television. In real life, she lives on a rural property in Canada that she often refers to as her own ranch. She cares for horses, dogs, chickens, cats, and other animals. Her connection to animals is genuine, which is one reason her performance as Amy Fleming feels so natural. She is not pretending to be comfortable in a barn. That world is already familiar to her. 3. Maggie's Diner isn't a working restaurant. Maggie's Diner looks like a cozy small-town cafe where anyone could stop in for coffee and pie. In reality, it is a set. Located in High River, Alberta, the exterior can be visited by fans who want to take photos. However, it is not a functioning diner where you can walk in and order a meal. The interior scenes are filmed as part of a controlled production setup, not a public business. 4. Spartan is played by a veteran horse. The horse who portrays Amy's beloved Spartan is named Stormy. He has been part of the production since the early seasons. Over the years, he became known among the cast for being calm, steady, and highly experienced on set. Working with cameras, crew members, and repeated takes requires a very specific temperament. Stormy developed into a true professional. 5. The actors really ride. Many of the riding scenes are not done with body doubles. Amber Marshall performs much of her own riding. Alicia Newton, who plays Georgie, also trained extensively and became a skilled rider over the course of the series. What started as a role requirement eventually turned into a real hobby and passion for her. That authenticity shows in competitive riding scenes and emotional moments involving the horses. 6. The show quickly outpaced the books. The television series is based on the book collection written by Lauren Brooke. However, the show moved beyond the source material very early. By season 2, the writers were largely creating original storylines. The television version of Heartland expanded into its own universe, developing characters and plots far beyond the book's original scope. 7. It holds a Canadian television record. Heartland became the longest-running one-hour scripted drama in Canadian television history. That milestone placed it ahead of earlier hits and confirmed its place in TV history. Longevity at that level requires consistent viewership, strong international distribution, and a production team capable of adapting without losing the show's identity. 8. The horse injuries are special effects. When horses appear injured, underweight, or ill on screen, no animals are actually harmed. Special effects makeup companies such as Bleeding Art Industries create realistic wounds and medical conditions using safe materials. The production works closely with trainers and animal safety professionals to ensure every horse remains healthy throughout filming. 9. Cast members have directed episodes. Several actors have stepped behind the camera over the years. Michelle Morgan, who plays Lou Fleming, has directed episodes of the series. So has Chris Potter, known for playing Tim Fleming. Having cast members direct episodes adds an interesting layer to production. They already understand the characters deeply, which can influence the tone and pacing of certain storylines. 10. Sean Johnston, almost played Tim Sean Johnston, is known as the steady and serious Jack Bartlett. However, he originally auditioned for the role of Tim Fleming. He ultimately landed the part of Jack instead. In real life, Johnston and Chris Potter are only about 2 years apart in age, despite playing characters from different generations. Makeup, wardrobe, and writing create the larger age gap viewers see on screen. 11. Alberta doubles for other countries. While most of the series is clearly set in Alberta, the province has doubled for other locations as well. For example, scenes meant to take place in Mongolia during Season 10 were actually filmed in the dramatic landscape of Drumheller, Alberta. The rocky terrain and wide horizons convincingly stood in for an entirely different continent. This flexibility keeps production costs manageable while maintaining visual variety. 12. It was never meant to be a massive hit. When Heartland premiered in 2007, it was not expected to become a global franchise. It was designed as a quiet, character-focused family drama centered around horses and emotional healing. Ironically, that modest approach may be what made it successful. Instead of chasing trends, the series leaned into sincerity, consistency, and emotional storytelling. Nearly 2 decades later, it continues to resonate with audiences who appreciate its slower pace and grounded themes. Part of what makes Heartland special is how authentic it feels. Real ranches, real riding, long-term character growth, a cast and crew that have worked together for years. Behind every scene of heartbreak, healing, or horseback competition is a carefully managed production that blends realism with television craft. For fans, knowing these behind-the-scenes facts only makes the world of Heartland feel even richer.